Good morning, business builders. It's Jodie here, ready for another week of top tips. So we are in term 3 and already week 4. So if you're watching live on YouTube or watching the replay on YouTube, we're only live in the Business Builder program. I just wanted to let you know, my name's Jodie Nevid, co-founder of The 7 Effect, where we help you design your dream life and build your dream business. And essentially, I specialize in helping coaches, consultants, and experts build a 6-figure lifestyle business around their skills, their knowledge, and their experience. Every Tuesday morning, I go live to our Business Builder group. Look, we've got one of them here already, Michelle Jules Parson, the amazing funeral celebrant and end-of-life companion. How are you, honey? Great to see you here, and thanks for joining me live. Now, Michelle, I've got a great top tip for you this morning, actually, for anyone that does coaching or working with clients and you feel like you get piles and piles of notes to type up or file or organize, then stay tuned because today's top tip is going to be really helpful. In fact, I've got 2 top tips that I want to share. But before I get into that, I forgot to post our regular reminder into my Facebook group. So I'm just going to jump in there now quickly and see if anyone's put any questions on the post that I put in late this morning. Just in case there's any questions, I don't want to miss them. And Suzanne, look, we've got Suzanne here as well. Great to see you. Thanks for joining me live. Now, MJP and Suzanne, if you have any questions, by all means, please post them in. Suzanne, I'm going to be sharing the top tip that I took you through in our coaching session last week, actually, because I thought, you know what, this is pretty handy for a lot of people. All right, boom, we've got a couple of tips here as well. Questions, sorry. So let's get into people's questions first. Suzanne, I see that you put a question in the Business Builder group, so I'm going to go straight to that. Hi there, since you showed me how to go paperless, I feel like I have been released from client report prison. This is great because this is the top tip that I want to talk about. LOL. It has been completely freeing and given me so much more time and headspace. I'm reading this, by the way, from our Business Builder group. It has given me so much more time and headspace, although now I have a lot more of cleanup from the way I used to do things, but also now more time to clean it up. Thank you, says Suzanne. Brilliant, Suzanne. So I am going to share that top tip with everyone today. If you feel like you are in client note-taking prison and there's never enough time to get all the stuff done that you wish you needed to get done, then this is the top tip session for you. We've also got Sue Giacobi here. Good morning, Sue. Great to have you joining us. And look, we've got the beautiful Leanne Sanders here. Thank you so much for joining us. So if you have any other questions, please post them. I have a question from Suzanne Murphy, other Suzanne in LBB. I'll jump to that quickly. Good morning, Jodes. I can't be on the calls today as I'm with a client. That's great. We love client work. But I have some questions around outsourcing to freelancers as a freelancer. Need some tips on how to structure it. I'll aim to be on Thursday night's call. All right, brilliant. So let's talk about the freelancing, outsourcing to freelancing tips first. And then I'll get into the freeing you from client note-taking prison. So firstly, when outsourcing to freelancers, it really depends on what type of freelancers you're looking for. So obviously you can go and find yourself a virtual assistant where you can outsource things like administration work or technical expertise, social media management, even right down to specific things like growing a YouTube channel, whatever it might be. And when it comes to outsourcing for a virtual assistant, someone who will be on your team and take care of some of the things that are required to free up your time and grow your business, I've tried both through an agency and going direct through the recruitment process myself. And my hot tip around that would be go through an agency. It does cost a little bit more, and I'm talking more so if you're looking for a virtual assistant in the Philippines or somewhere like that. It does cost a little bit more, but if you find a good agency, they become your HR and recruitment company for you. So they'll go through the vetting process. They'll find a top list of candidates. And in fact, I've just recently connected with a company called Outsourcing Angels, recommended to me by Jorge, who is doing our back end and systems in the Seven Effect. And I had a meeting with them last week. And what I love is they give you massive amounts of support. Now, yes, they do cost a bit more than when I went myself through to hiring VAs online. It was like virtualassistantsonline.com or something like that, .ph. And anyway, that process you pay a small fee to get membership to, but the time required to go through the recruitment process, the interviews, and then finding people that no one helps you manage or performance manage, so it's really up to you. It just didn't work for me, but it can work for others as well. So if you've got a lot of time, if you've got a lot of dedication and passion for developing and leading and growing people, and you're happy to nurture them over time and really put that investment in building the team from the baseline, and you're an excellent picker, which I'm not, and you're really good at recruitment, then you might want to go direct. Best thing is do what some of ours have done, and they've piggybacked off of the success Catherine has had with her virtual assistant. Catherine in our mastermind group has an amazing virtual assistant, and a couple of others jumped on and said, oh, send me her details. Tried and tested, they went direct to the source. But I think going to a recruitment company like Outsourcing Angels, when they spoke to me about all of the cool resources they offer, even checklists down to how to outsource, they provide the training, they provide the performance management, they do all the recruiting, and they make sure that you get a satisfaction guarantee. I'm at a level where I'm prepared to pay a little bit extra for all of that team support. I can't be doing all those things. So that's one tip around outsourcing. But if you're outsourcing freelancers to do the work, so let's say it is facilitation or coaching or actually becoming a contractor in your business, then there's a couple of different things that you can do, Suzanne. You can have an agreed price per delivery that they will do. So you can negotiate with the freelancer and say, look, this is the job, it's facilitating my content, it's 4 hours of facilitation, this is what the client pays, and this is what I'm prepared to pay you. I think it's really great to be super transparent in all of these things. And industry standard, so when I was a associate for a boutique company, a consulting company, they did a 60-40 split. So you have the cost of the program, and then you take away the GST. So let's say it's $4,000 plus GST. The GST gets removed, the $4,000 to deliver the one-day workshop. 40% would go to the organization, 60% goes to the facilitator. Now that worked really well for me. We had a very simple associates agreement, and I, as the associate, got farmed the work. I got paid 60% to deliver it, to manage the client and do all of those things. The organization got paid 40% to look after the administration, the invoicing, and they took the payment and things like that. So hopefully that answers your question, Suzanne. Jump on the call on Thursday night, and I'm happy to really unpack your specifics around that if that helps. Great way to build your business. Obviously, we're doing similar things in LBB. You would see me, I outsource work to our graduates, to our accredited coaches. I've got Tony on board as a coach within the Seven Effect and a facilitator. She's running our NLP masterclass, and we have an agreed amount that I pay her for that. It's a real win-win because Tony gets exposure in our community, and many of the lifestyle business builders end up going through her program to study NLP at a deeper level as well. So you always want to create win-win situations. It's interesting. I've got a client that I'm coaching at the moment who's not a coach or consultant. She's actually building a bricks and mortar type business. And she's hired a business manager to take over and really kind of grow the business from the ground up. It's a brand new shop, it's opening up, it's a specialist area, and so she's hired a specialist business manager who's got lots of experience in that industry to kind of open the doors, get the clients in, recruit the team, and get it going. But what my client, who's very entrepreneurial, she does property, she does business, she's just an amazing person. She's got lots of connections with investors all over the world. And so what she proposed was a contract as a starting point for this particular employee. So she said, all right, here's a win-win opportunity. We'll do it as a contracted agreement where you have your own ABN, you have freedom, you'll have a profit share in the business. But for the person that she offered that opportunity to, it just freaked her out. And not everyone, especially people who have been employees all their life, can see business opportunities for what they are. What I've recognized over the years of coaching people through building their own business is employee eyes and entrepreneur eyes see the world in a very, very different way. So as an entrepreneur and a business owner and an investor and someone who understands the value of opportunity, I looked at the role that my client was offering out to the marketplace and said, wow, this is one of those sky's the limit exponential type opportunities. But here's what happens. When an employee looks at that role, they often see fear, they see uncertainty, they see things where they go, oh, but where's my regular salary package and my PAYG and my superannuation and my holiday pay and all of this? And you go, but you know what, if you're willing to give up that, you've got this uncapped earning potential if you just back yourself, and you don't even have to have the risk of setting up a business. You basically get all the benefits of setting up a business, but someone floating you to do it and build that business and take all the financial and industry risks on your behalf. But it's an interesting one. So when it comes to outsourcing to freelancers and building your team, there's two ways we can look at it and go, oh, okay, just don't hire those employee mindset people. But the thing is, often they have the greatest skill set to take the business where it needs to go. So I would suggest the most important thing is if you hire someone who you honestly believe can get the results, then be flexible in how you negotiate terms. But the terms need to get to a point where everybody is fearless. You need to remove fear from the table, because if there's fear, if there's trepidation, and if expectations are not clear in any way, then hello, there will be trouble ahead. So hopefully that helps. And Suzanne, another top tip around building partnerships, finding freelancers, in just creating collaborations in any way, head to the LBB original modules, and in there you will find an entire module called community. And I talk a little bit about building constructive partnerships, win-win partnerships, and the 4 constructive styles as opposed to the 8 defensive styles that you can find in human beings. Because if you've got people coming to a partnership or coming to a joint venture or even coming into your team, bringing the baggage of any of those defensive styles, it can cause trouble down the track if you're not aware. Now, as a human, you will bring defensive styles to the things that you do, but when we have awareness around it, it's a much easier culture to manage. So, yeah, I love all that sort of stuff. Okay, so we've got Sue Giacobbe saying, driving but listening to these golden nuggets. Excellent. I'm glad you love it. Now, I'm going to share my screen with you in a moment. So eyes on the road, Sue Giacobbe. You can watch the replay and I can show you through this top tip in our next coaching session. Michelle Jules Parson says, fear? Who has fear? Ridiculous. Fear was my middle name, huh? And now I'm doing Zoom. You know, I love Michelle Jules Parson. I love you so much. I love all of my clients, but Michelle and I had a coaching session last week, and we're setting her up to run webinars to teach people some of the cool things that she taught in her half-day workshop around end of life. What do you need to know? And she comes into my office every time we do a one-on-one coaching session, and she's like, all right, I'm ready, Jodes. We're going to do it. And then I'm talking her through the steps. We build the landing page. We set up the webinar. We create the event. We work out what we're going to cover. We write the copy for the landing page and all of that. And it's like, right, we've got a date. We've got it booked in. Are we ready to go live? And she's just like, okay. Takes a deep breath and a gulp, and she just literally swallows the fear away. So the beautiful thing is Michelle's been doing guest spots on online webinars from other people. She did a quick one into LBB for Us, and she did one for the amazing Diane McCann, who's here in Adelaide, big name in the relationship-based coaching and facilitation all around love and relationships. And Michelle's just naturally getting people to want to buy the emotional wheel when they hear her speak. So we've gone, all right, let's turn this into your lead generation machine. So really excited to be doing that with you, Michelle. All right, let's get into, shall we, the freedom from prison, if you are. So I'd love to get a hands up for those of you who feel like taking notes for your coaching clients and then typing them up and all of that kind of stuff can ever be a bit time consuming. When I was first in the coaching industry, I used to have I'd take my pad, my paper, and I'd sit in there and I'd write all these mad notes. And then I'd do sometimes an entire day of back-to-back coaching. And then I'd look at this big folder of notes that I'd have to type up, and I'd go, oh God, now I've got to do all that. And it wasn't a job that I enjoyed doing. And so the notes would pile up, and I'd procrastinate over it until it's a bit like doing your receipts for your tax. That's why you get a bookkeeper. And so it was just one of those things where I finally said, you know, I've got to find a way to go paperless. And I've taken it one step further, and not only do I, because then what I do is I type up all the notes in the coaching call. Brilliant, love that. And then I just email the notes to a client. But then what happened is, because I was so booked back to back, and I get booked back to back with clients, I'd get to the end of the week and clients would be emailing me saying, Jodes, did you send those notes? Where can I find the notes that you took? And sometimes, because I'm a little bit disorganized, I'd be going, oh crap, where did I save it? What did I do with it? So if anyone has ever had that kind of chaos or exhaustion in their life, this is the top tip for you. Now, I love this because Suzanne came to my coaching session, or our coaching session last week, and she literally had the folder of notes. And as you know, her business has grown exponentially in the last couple of months. Like, it's literally exploded. She is back to back, I think, all the way till September, when she could finally book herself some time out. And we needed to create some space to free up her time. So here's what we did. I'm going to share my screen with you. Now, you should be able to see, as you know, we use Dropbox here at the 7 Effect. Well, you might not know that, but if you're a client, you would know that. So tip number 1, Dropbox, Google Drive, whichever is your flow. There might be other things, but find an online platform where you can store files. Then what you'll want to do is you want to sort your folders out. I've done, so see here, we've got LBB, each of the years that we've run the program. And then in there, I'll just, I'm just clicking on the wrong one. You'll see we've got them classified under our Mastermind, Private and Ultimate. And then if we open them up, we see all our clients in there, etc. So always remember to close your drawers. So one step is set up your clients with a shared folder. So each of our clients, as soon as they join our program, they get a shared folder. But here's the real magic, is we actually create this LBB client folder template. Now in here, we have all the tools that our clients need when they're starting out. So in the coaching notes, they get a copy of the business growth tracker. They get the annual action plan template, and they get their kickoff template, which is the very first session that they have with me to get started on their business journey. So they get the coaching notes. They also get a folder where they're going to put all of their logos and anything branding. You'll see what I do with the name bit in a minute. They get LGM folder set up. So LGM stands for your lead generation machine. Just some notes and templates on what needs to happen when we get to that page. Media, if any of our clients come to our media day and they end up with video footage or a photo shoot, we put all of that in there, so it's just an empty folder. And then the Zoom calls. So when we have Zoom calls for clients that aren't based here in Adelaide, you get a copy saved in your folder in there. So we have this template, right? And then here's what you can do in Dropbox. I can literally go duplicate, boom. Now I have another new entire set of folders, right? And then let's say I have Michelle Jules Parson joining LBB. I just go through, well I don't, but I get Lara to go through, and we just put her name on here, MJP, and then basically we just set it all up. You get the picture. So I put her name in here, client folders. So there I would just literally put the client name up the top here, LBB 2.0. And so now I have an entire client's folder of work, and I can literally share that folder. So I can click share. It'll bring up the Dropbox thing. And then I can go here and I can type the email address in here. Email goes here of the client, send that through, and basically, boom, that's it, folder shared. But what I love about it is then I just drag that in. Let's say she joined in 2020, sorry. I just drag that up there and she's ready to roll. So obviously I don't need to keep that. I'm going to move all of that to the bin. But this is a really nice system to get set up if you do note-taking with your clients. Think about what are the templates that you use in your business that you would love every client to receive. You only need to build one folder, all organized with the templates. Then you basically duplicate that folder. Each time a client starts, just adjust the name of each of the files in there, and then invite the client to share that folder. Then the magic is whenever you go to have a meeting with your client, you literally take notes in the documents there, you close it down after the meeting's finished, and boom, the client's got easy access. So there's none of this, oh, Jodie, the notes that you took were amazing, where can I find them? Can you email them? There's no folder of stuff piling up. So honestly, it's magic, my friends. Hot tip, get onto it. Mary says, love partnerships and JVs. Mary, of course you do. You are the queen of them. Born into a JV. Mary's a twin. Love partnerships and JVs, but definitely need to manage the relationship and expectations. 100%. And in fact, what you'll find in the community module of LBB is I have a tool called a relationship builder, which looks at the 4 different quadrants that we should be asking questions around every time we start to build a joint venture or a partnership with people. So that's a great tool as well. All right, we've got a couple of minutes left, and I want to leave you with one final hot tip for this week on Tuesday. And this is more of a life design rather than a lifestyle business hack. And it's about you and your time out and holidays. So we went out, so it's Jason's birthday. It was Jason's birthday yesterday. And we went out Friday night for all of the Leos in Jason's gang. There's 5 of them. They have a birthday. So every year we go out for a dinner to celebrate their birthday. One of the birthday girls is Rachel, who's also my hairdresser actually. And she'd just come back from her annual trip away. So she's got 5 besties, or her and 4 besties. Every year they book a beautiful holiday home and they go away for a girls' weekend. And I've watched Rachel's photos of this for the last 3 years and thought, God, my girls and I, we need to do that sort of thing. I'm still best friends with the chicks that I went to high school with, which is really cool. My besties from high school and a couple of other girls that we lived down the road from when we were 18. So these are like my core besties. And I thought, you know what? Travel is such a big thing for me. And normally I have an overseas trip that I'm always working towards, or a retreat in Bali or something like that, which gives me a lot of energy. And that's not happening at the moment. So I thought, you know what, stuff it. I'm going to call a girls' weekend away. I sent a message to my girlfriends on Saturday morning after the Friday night, catching up with Rach, really inspired. They all jumped on board, yes. So October, I found us a house and we're going away for 3 nights together as a group. We're going to go down towards Middleton. We're going to do a cheese making workshop and it's going to be beautiful fun. But here's my hot tip for you. So book a weekend away with your gals or your girls or your family if you haven't got something to look forward to like that. But here's the other thing. If you're like me and you felt a little bit restricted when our international travel was shut down, that was a bit of a thing for me. And you know what? I spent the entire weekend looking through Airbnb. I just typed in South Australia, 6 guests, 6 adults, and 6 bedrooms. There wasn't many with 6 bedrooms, so then I reduced it to 5 bedrooms. And the houses that I found, don't put any dates in yet if you just want to find spectacular houses. I didn't put any dates in. But the houses that I found all over incredible places of South Australia, even in Kangaroo Island, some of these places are like off the charts spectacular. And so I've created this saved list now of all these amazing holiday homes that I can either go to with the girlfriends or go to with the family, or even go to with some of our business builders every now and then, because a lot of you guys in the business builder become my mates. And I thought, you know what? If we can't travel for the next couple of years, I'm going to get my butt into gear and I'm going to be traveling South Australia like nobody's business. And the beautiful thing is, the money that you save on airfares, you can really invest in going all in on the most deluxe and divine accommodation. So my friends, if you are like me and love to travel, get yourself a list on Airbnb with the little saved love hearts and just have a look at some of the incredible locations around your area or your state. And maybe it's time to book yourself 2 or 3 nights away and just enjoy, have a holiday. And remember that we can still travel even though we can't get overseas. And, you know, some of us can still travel interstate depending on where we're at. And we don't know right now which way things are going to go with the coronavirus, where things are going to be shut down. But what's really lovely to know is there's always opportunities to explore your own backyard. Speaking of travel, next week, Jace and I are off to Kangaroo Island for 3 nights as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right, so those are my top tips. JVs, have a look at the community module in the Business Builder. Make sure, as Mary said, expectations are super clear. Eliminate all fear from the table and set up something that everyone feels like a winner in. So, Suzanne, jump on the coaching call Thursday night and let's get stuck into the logistics of your outsourcing to freelancers. My advice is, if you're looking for a VA and you don't have a lot of time, use an agency to recruit with. If it's a freelancer to actually do the work, facilitation, coaching, or whatever, then it's up to you two as adults to negotiate terms that you both feel winners in. The key is ask lots of questions. And then finally, get yourself free from paper prison in your coaching notes and set yourself up a beautiful template of Dropbox folders or Google. I don't know if you can do the same in Google Drive. I'm not a fan of Google. I love Dropbox. But, you know, apples and oranges, whatever, choose the one you love. And make your life easy. Do everything in a shared folder so that there's no notes to take, there's no things to email, there's no stuff to lose. And your clients can share stuff with you super easy as well. And finally, as Mary says, local luxury. Check out your own backyard and book yourself a holiday soon. Oh, Mary's got another tip here as well. You can use Notability to store your handwritten notes as well. Absolutely. So I store all my handwritten stuff in Notability. And even if I'm doing stuff on a coaching call from Notability, I can send it directly to the client, or I can send it to myself and save it in the client's folder as well. So many cool tools to make your life as a coach or a consultant super fun and easy. All right, that's it for me, folks. Have a beautiful Tuesday. And remember, this is the first day of the week for us here at the Business Builder or 7 Effect. Coaching call, 10 a.m. till 12 noon today, Adelaide time. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.